So, first is the design phase where where let's say there is a customer. So there is a customer A, and the customer A is evaluating any HR software solutions to meet the organizational needs. And then what they'll do is they will first issue a request for proposal to other vendors as well. Let's say there are three more vendors, B, C, and D. Then the vendors will respond by submitting their own proposals, and all the vendors B, C, and D, they will have their each detailing solutions that will
Okay.
help the customer A to meet its objective, whatever the goal is for whatever the customer A is looking for. uh, then what happens? Then there is there are responses. So there is technical proposal, which is project. In technical proposal, it will outline the project timeline, the proposed solutions, and it will also have the software. It will also have the key modules,
Okay.
and the business processes for the software to support.
Okay.
And it will also include benefits of the solution, like deliverables, and and everything that will ensure a smooth execution in the technical proposal, which they will propose to the customer A. And then there is also there's also other response, which is a commercial proposal that focuses on the financial aspects, detailing the price, terms, conditions, and other uh, and and other elements, which which will help govern the relationship between the customer and the vendor. So the TP uh, contains all the technical enhancement of the project, and such as the milestones, and if there is any past implementation, everything will be studied in TP. And in the CP, uh, the CP will contain the commercial the financial things. So uh, it will address the qualifying criterias, and it will also give a weightage to the that will help in decision making process. After that, mm, once once the proposals are reviewed, uh, once the proposal are reviewed, then the next step is demonstration phase, where each vendor will showcase their system, their, their SAP solutions. Uh, and this will help the customer to understand how the solution will work in the real world scenarios. Whatever the customer A, what the need of customer A is, the vendor, they will showcase as a demonstration. They will show them, and they'll make them understand that how it's going to look in the real world scenario. So after the demo, then the customer, yeah, after looking into the demos of all the vendors, proposed vendors, the customer will come to a decision on selecting any one of them. And let's say one of the vendor is selected, and then the contracting phase will start. They will start finalizing the contract. The and in that process, the PMO of the organization, and the salesperson and the sales team of the organization, they will be in the picture, and they will handle the uh, they will meet the customer, they will take the KT, and uh, yeah, they will take the KT from the customer. Once everything is final, they'll prepare a contract, and they will take the KT, handle the knowledge transfer process from the customer. And once that is done, then the PMO will assign a project manager to that project. So once PMO is assigned, then the no, sorry, once the PM is assigned, then the PMO and the sales team, they will provide KT to the PM. And um, and uh, also other project stakeholders, uh, let me rephrase it. Once the PM is assigned, the PMO and the sales team will provide KT to the PM, and then the and then an internal kickoff meeting will be held just to identify the project sponsors and the
No, no.
other.
Which phase is this? Which phase are we referring to?
Oh, this is prepare phase.
Okay, let's. When does discover end?
When does discover ends?
Yeah.
When everything is finalized, when the contract is prepared.
Okay, fine. So that's when discover ends, right?
Yes.
So, all right. So you can proceed with prepare now. So how do
So
you
once the
feel will it be okay? So each phase I give you my feedback, or you complete everything at the end I give my feedback for all the phases. What do you prefer?
no, each phase is good. Like you asked, you stopped me in between and asked. So this is good. Like after each phase.
Okay. So in discover, so I was referring to whatever you told pretty much sums it whatever we discussed in the past. However, there are a few more additions that I would like to add now that you've understood this process. This is probably we are getting down into more details of the internal processes that will happen previously. I mean, before you sign the contract. Okay, number one is you said you do a demo, right, to the
Yeah.
customer. Right
Yeah.
after you do a technical proposal submission. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so for the technical proposal submission, you cannot do just on the basis of a document, correct? So by reading through the
Yeah.
document, not it's not something to be very sure that the customer will give all the details in that document. That is number one. Number two, even if some information is given on that, if that can be approached in two or three different ways, you will have to ask them which way you would like to go for, considering that this will impact the commercial aspects of the project, right? So these are all certain things that will come up right when you get into the RFP of the customer. So what usually happens is that, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we submit a questionnaire as a response to the RFP that we have received from the customer.
Okay.
To this questionnaire, they will update you with answers such that this will
Mm-hmm.
be your input into the technical proposal and commercial proposal. Okay. RFP is
Mm-hmm.
not just the input, only input. You might have discovery session, something called as discovery session, wherein you go on a one-on-one meeting with the necessary stakeholders, not necessarily one-on-one. Uh, you go on a team meeting with the stakeholders from the customer end. You ask them questions, you clarify things. This is discovery session. If something is not very clearly explained in the RFP document. Number two is other option, you submit a questionnaire in an Excel sheet or some document, you get a response from them based on which you will again go for devising or drafting the technical proposal and commercial proposal. This is number one. Okay. What happens behind the scenes? This is something that you need to understand. Second thing is you were talking about ranking different vendors, right, by the customer.
Yeah.
So what usually happens is on what basis will you rank? So this question will arise, right? Because if I vendor A do give emphasis on technically adhering to the scope. Vendor B gives emphasis on resources. If I give proper resources, senior resources, I will get the project. But he is compromising on the technical scope. Vendor 3 will say, I am not going to consider few scope as part of my technical proposal. I will omit that. But I will give you proper resources. I will give it to you in the same timeline. Vendor 4 will say, I will exactly give you everything that you want, but I cannot deliver in that value that you asked me, that your budget. I can instead deliver 1.5x the value that you are asking me. So these are all the four different things that the four different customers can offer. I mean, vendors can offer. So in the RFP, what usually happens is the customer will draft a weightage criteria. Okay. What this will detail is that technical adherence 20% is the weightage. Whoever adheres to all the technical scope, all the technical things, 20 out of 20, they'll score you. Then resource weightage, then past experience weightage, then commercial weightage. So each proposal or each RFP that you get from the customer will have
Mm-hmm.
certain weightage criteria or scoring criteria.
Okay.
Okay, based on this criteria is what you will have to prepare or draft your TP and CP. What this will do, everyone is going to understand what's the basis of scoring. Accordingly, you will prepare your proposals. Whoever is the best, scoring guy, those guys are the ones who will get the contract.
Mm.
Okay. And then there's one more thing. You need not go into details. It's just one point that you need to remember. Contracting
Mm-hmm.
doesn't happen. Contract signing doesn't happen, let's say, in 1 or 2 days. There's a lot of legal procedures, terms and conditions, terms and conditions acceptance, compliance acceptance, clauses acceptance, legal clauses acceptance. All of these things will come into picture. So there will be a lot of negotiations when we talk about contracting. In the contracting signing stage, there are three things in which, by now technically everything would have been freezed. However, commercially there will still be negotiations. That is number one. Number two is on the terms and conditions, on the contractual clauses, on the legal clauses, there will still be negotiations that will be happening before the contract signing. Okay. So if you are involved, you will also have to give your inputs during these particular stages during the
Okay.
contracting phase. Okay, this is about a discovery. So I mentioned 3 points. One
Yeah.
is discovery session, demo session, or a questionnaire session. The other one is, basically, weightage criteria that the vendor or vendors will be put into for their scoring. Number three is legal procedures during the contract and the negotiations that will happen in the contract. Okay, this is pretty much your discover phase. So now you can move ahead with the prepare phase.
So in the prepare phase, what happens once the PMO and the sales team they finalize all the three criterias are met, then the PMO assigns a PM to the project, and the PMO and the salesperson they provide KT to the PM. So during knowledge transfer session, the project manager it engages with other project stakeholders also other than PMO and sales if needed,
Mhm.
to gain insight into their roles, and then an internal kickoff meeting is held to identify the project sponsor and also other necessary stakeholders. uh, and after also also the project scopes, expectations, timelines, and the deliverables, everything is discussed in the internal kickoff meeting.
Mhm.
And then the project team, yeah, with everyone's approval, a project team with everyone's approval or everyone's help, a project team is identified, uh, uh, and the logistics are also been taken care. logistics, when I say logistics, then it means the travel, their visa, who all are traveling on site, visas and their accommodations, everything, everything are coordinated. And during this phase, we also prepare templates. We also prepare templates for project deliveries. Also, the project templates we can also get from PMO, or we or they can have historic data also in the organization, or we can also get it from the organization's repository. It depends upon the company size. If it is a small organization, then the PMO will only identify the templates and prepare it. If it is a large organization, then the PMO takes help sorry, the PM takes help from the PMO
Okay.
to get the templates. And uh, and in the project deliverables, project charter, project plan, project management plan, data migration plan, and mm, global scope item are prepared. Those should be in the deliverables. All this information, all these templates are considered as the project deliverables. And uh, also there is a uh, also there is a demo system which is developed to uh, 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 yes, also there is a demo system developed to further uh, to customize the the customer's need. We do practice, we do have SAP best practices. We do take reference from that, but also uh, we customize it as per the customer's need. And then as the and then after that, quality gate is established, and there are certain acceptance criteria which is defined for the prepare phase closure. And if everything matches the acceptance criteria, then the quality gate is passed, and a formal sign off is done from the business on the project plan. And the process is started. uh, the Yeah, we can say the process. And so there is a after it passes the quality gate, there is a sign off for this phase. So
Okay. Okay. So now, now what I think did you talk about stakeholder identification from the customer side?
yeah.
Okay, fine. I think I did not notice that part anyway. So that is one. Second thing is demo system is not for any customization. Basically, what you do is only best practice activation. That's all. You um, understand what processes are there that is required by that business, and
Mhm.
then you activate that best practices, that global scope items, which is nothing but the business processes for each module. You understand what is required, then you activate those best practices in the demo system such that you can showcase that during your explore phase. That's all. You don't do any custom requirements. You will never worry about any custom requirements in the prepare phase. This is the correction with respect to the demo system. Okay.
Okay.
Second important thing is, there's three more activities. So whatever that you spoke about, I mean, okay, just to summarize,
Mm-hmm.
what are all the activities that a consultant, I mean, as a you're the project manager, what activities do you think the consultants will be doing in the prepare phase?
uh, they will first look into the customization.
No, there is no customization. No, as I told you. So prepare is not for customization. Prepare is just for you to prepare a system which is you activate the best practices in the demo system or sandbox system or whichever system you're going to do the fit to standard workshop. Okay.
Mhm.
During our session, I probably would have told you prepare this best practice system for fit to standard workshop. This would have been my statement. However, there is few more activities that I wanted to tell you now, which is there is three activities. All right, three very important activities. I was
Okay.
referring to global scope items and that the consultants will work with the basis team to activate the best practices. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So that happens only
Mhm.
after the consultants conduct a workshop with the business. What is the purpose of the workshop? The purpose of that workshop is to identify what are the available business processes within, let's say, whatever the functional scope that is there in the contract. For example, the contract will say L1, L2, L3. Okay.
Mhm.
So it might say, for example, in procurement, the procurement will take care of direct procurement of materials. This is L2. In direct procurement of materials, L3 will say probably something like, sorry. So the first thing would be sourcing and procurement. L2 will be procurement. L3 will be direct sourcing or direct procurement of materials. Okay, this is L1, L2, L3, which will be in your contract. However, within direct procurement of materials, what are all the different scenarios, business processes available? So, just to give you a brief, for direct procurement of materials, you can do import procurement, you can do export procurement. Correct? You can probably uh, you can probably procure from your local vendors, which
Okay.
is your locally sourced materials. You can import things from other foreign countries into your system. So that is called as import procurement. So these are all
Okay.
different scenarios. You talk to the business and you identify what are all the different scenarios applicable, and then based on that only you will go for the best practice activation.
Okay.
Okay, this is one workshop that the consultants with respect to their individual modules will do. This is number one. Number two is interface inventory. This is applicable only in case you have a third party system as part of your scope. Okay. What is the purpose of this workshop? You identify what are all the different integration scenarios that you need to do. Say, for example, when you're doing an employee onboarding, you create a master data in the SuccessFactors EC system. What it should do, you have a third party system which is integrated for you to do logistics. Let's say you have to assign your employees there for simply for logistics or asset management, whatever be the case. Whenever an employee is created here, you have to pass on the employee details to that system also. This is an integration scenario, right? Replicate employee master from system A to system B. What are all the fields you will share from here to there? Is it going to be inbound and outbound? Are you going to transfer the data to and fro between both the systems? So these are all the things you will try to identify during this workshop. So this will not be very exhaustive, but this will on a very high level. This is required for you to predetermine the scope that you will be working upon during the explore phase and whatever you will be developing or configuring during your realize phase. Okay, this is number two. Number three is I would have referred to the templates if you remember for data migration,
Yeah.
right? You conduct a workshop as to understand what is the data that is available for us to work upon in the prepare phase itself.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we will sit with them. As you understand the business processes, we will also be sitting with them to understand what kind of data they're handling. What is the master data we will have? What is the transactional data that we will have? So all these things we will try to understand from them, and we will also submit or explain them the templates in this phase itself. Okay, explore phase is all about you working with them to prepare the data. You helping them to prepare the data. Otherwise, the templates will be submitted during this workshop and the explanations will be given during this workshop. And what data to upload into system, what data to migrate into SAP, all this you will be understanding in this workshop itself. Okay, you are clear with this?
Yes.
All right. So 3 more important activities that that we have spoke about in the prepare phase. Now let's move on to explore.
Yeah. So moving into the explore phase, in this the project team starts showcasing the SAP system to the customer, and there is a user engagement calendar, and a user engagement calendar is created to help the customer plan their time for workshops and other sessions. There are two very important terms uh, which is focused during the explore phase, which is fit to gap and fit to standard workshops. These workshops mainly focus on the enterprise structure, uh, defining and understanding the enterprise structure, their data, key data, or the cost centers. Uh, and in this phase, with the help of basis team, uh, co- business processes are configured. The team also works on RISE components, creating such as workflows for approval processes and customer reports, integrating interfaces with the third party system.
Okay, what was the workshop you mentioned? What's the workshop that we conduct? The first workshop?
Uh, fit to gap, fit to standard.
Okay. So,
Like
yeah, go on, go
fit
on.
to standard is for cloud solutions, and fit to gap is for on premises.
Okay.
So we will see what type of project we are handling. If it is on premises, then we will conduct fit to gap workshop. And if it is cloud migration, then we will conduct fit to standard
Okay,
workshops.
what do you do in this workshop?
Uh, in these workshops, standard we configure the standard system based on the specific requirements. We also identify the gaps in the system, which is not offered by the SAP best practices.
No. Do you mean to say we configure the system?
Um, configure, yeah, we configure the
No.
standard.
No,
Mhm.
actually, no. We only showcase the system. Yesterday, also, I was telling you, right? This is more on show and tell. So, you showcase the best practice. Why did we activate the best practice in the prepare phase? To showcase that in the explore phase. Only the best practices will be shown, and we gather requirements in terms of that configurational elements or KDS, and then we also understand what are all the gaps that we have and what customizations that we need to do.
Okay, so when we say we show, then we don't actually show like how do we show? Do we present them like a
Yes,
document? Or,
not a
okay.
document, the entire system itself. So this is the demo system we were referring to. The
So
purpose
in the
of you understanding the business processes available for the customer,
Mhm.
and then you going to the basis team and activating that standard best practices. Then you come back to the customer and showcase that during the explore phase. The consultants will test it during the prepare phase. Whatever is the best practice, they'll come showcase that this happens as part of standard. Now tell me what is the change that you're expecting as part of your business process. This will be the question.
Okay. The gaps are addressed in that workshop, and the solution to those gaps. Sorry.
That is second workshop.
Yes, yes.
Fit
So,
to gap analysis workshop, if you remember, we were talking about fit to gap
yeah,
analysis.
yes.
Yeah, so this is the workshop number 2. So in the workshop number 2, you will, prepare, or I will say you will talk to them, discuss with them, and document how we are going to approach, whether it's a workaround within the system without any risers, or you're going to do some customizations, develop some risers, and address that gap. So this is what you will be discussing. Okay, I think you will have to prepare a little bit in terms of explore. It's fine. We'll take it one by one. Now that we have closed up on discover and prepare, I would like you to take some more time in explore because I don't see that clarity yet. You take some time. It's okay. Maybe tomorrow we can connect back again, explore, realize, and deploy and run. We will continue with those part.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Not to worry. I think it's a good attempt for prepare and discover. You just have to spend some more time in understanding, explore, realize, and deploy. Okay. So let me uh, probably open up the document that we discussed. I'll share my screen. Today, let's try to cover some parts or some topics of Activate introduction. Okay, for the next 15 minutes or so. Okay, do you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
All right, so this Activate methodology is what we discussed about yesterday. These 6 points are basically the foundation of Activate methodology. Then comes your Activate phases, which I think is what we discussed at this point of time. So on a very, very short level, on a very, very high level. So discover, you customers become familiar with the benefits of SAP and S/4HANA, what it is capable of through your demos, through your technical proposal, through your conversations with them throughout your contracting process. They become familiar. Then you do your planning and preparation. Then you perform fit gap analysis, identified gaps, and configured values are to be added to the backlog. Then realize, you build a system, you test it, you load the data, then your operations are being planned. In deploy, you set up the production system. I think we already went through this, right? Once.
Yeah, before we are
Yeah,
seeing.
so switch business operations to the new system, then you support them with hypercare. Then you have to take care of the operations, supporting the business with the newly created solution. This is about the phases. Now, how SAP recommends to run. See, as part of point 5, it says SAP engagement ready, right? So how SAP actually expects you to run your implementation is that you have 3 different control centers. Okay. Before that, let's try to figure this out. So you have 5 different phases: prepare, explore, realize, deploy, and then you have run also. Okay. In prepare, explore, realize, and until the end user training is when you will keep on building the SAP system. Until the end users, you will keep getting feedbacks from them. And if it is business critical, as I told you, you need to address that, because without that, you cannot go live, right? So if you check this out, at least 60 percentage of deploy, you will still keep building the SAP software. Okay, that's why it says build SAP like a factory. Then when do you start planning your operations? Right when they kickstart the UAT, you will have to plan operations of how you're going to execute things. So this means that end of realize, you have deploy until until end of your run, which is your support. You will have to support, or I would say, run the product and make the business users adopt it efficiently. So this is why until from the end of realize until the end of run, it says run SAP like a factory. So these two you are able to understand it right now, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, assuming this, how SAP recommends any customer to operate is that during your prepare phase, they ask or they recommend to keep something called as establish something called as innovation control center. Okay. During the run process, they ask us to establish operations control center. So these two are different control centers they would like you to establish. The reason being, this innovation control center is primarily established to make sure this product is being adopted and this product is being implemented efficiently and effectively to support the business grow, to make the business realize the business value that it intends to achieve through their innovations. Okay. Then you set up the operations control center to make sure you have a center of excellence team who knows the solutions well, who are trained well, who can support the end users well. These guys are basically who will take care, who will be the front line of the support that will be needed for the business users during their operations. Okay. These two in turn will be supported by mission control center, which is basically SAP. SAP is expert. Let's say the customer success manager, or if you're part of HEC, the cloud lead, all of these people will be involved during account manager itself. All of these people will be part of mission control center. So that's why this says SAP under the mission control center, innovation control center, and operations control center, which is under customer side. Okay, this is how they expect you to run, and SAP has will establish something called as mission control center during their implementation. These guys are the ones who will support you throughout the implementation journey.
And
They'll
they are
probably
from,
take part of the weekly status meetings also and steering committee meetings also.
okay, and they are from SAP,
Yeah, they are from SAP.
not vendor, not customer.
Not vendor, not customer, directly from the OEM themselves.
Okay.
Okay, so this is again the explanations that is given is again in terms of the phases and what we do only, so nothing to worry. But this is something that SAP has recommended, as part of any SAP engagements that they have. All right. So next to come here comes your deployment options. Okay, so this is a pretty straightforward slide, I would say. Okay, so we have cloud, which is in, you're aware of whatever the possible solutions are, right? We have S4HANA Cloud, which is nothing but your single tenant edition. Then, sorry, which is nothing but your multi-tenant edition. Then you have S4HANA Cloud single tenant edition. Okay, so if it is a STE, they will mention STE. When someone refers to as S4HANA Cloud, then it means multi-tenant edition.
Okay.
Okay. Then comes your HANA Enterprise Cloud, then hyperscalers, then S4HANA on-prem. This is your cloud solution, or similar to AWS or something. Okay, hyperscalers are nothing but your, your AWS. All these things are basically hyperscalers, or I would say you can probably scale up and down on your need basis. So that's the purpose of a hyperscaler. Then on-prem, which is customer owned. So if you check these things out, these two happens based on configuration, and all this happens as part of code modification. So you need not worry on this part. This is basically all configuration only. You need not for now, confuse yourself with the different terminologies. It's all basically the same. What they are trying to emphasize is that cloud solutions are more, fit to standard approach. So that's why they say configuration. Here you can do whatever you want. Basically, it's all yours. You do whatever changes you need to do. Okay, that's why they say code modification. Okay, so this runs on cloud. This runs on dedicated cloud. Single tenant meaning you have a dedicated cloud system. Then this is your private cloud. Then hyperscaler is again a hyperscaler. You can probably read through. Have you ever heard of a hyperscaler?
No.
Okay, AWS is basically a hyperscaler. So
AWS.
today, yeah, you pay for what you consume.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
then customer owned. Basically, the server is owned by the customer themselves. This is in terms of responsibilities. So if it is single tenant, we both have responsibilities because single tenant, I only have, uh, I will, I mean, I as a customer, I will only be part of it. If it is multi-tenant, SAP only will be taking care of it. Okay, the difference probably I'll tell you, but just to be very on a briefer level, if it is multi-tenant edition, you will have release updates every 3 months, I think. Okay, but when it is single tenant edition, you get I think one release for 2 years or 3 years. I'm not really sure. We'll get to know this as we move further.
Mhm.
Okay, so 3 years or 2 years, I think. Okay,
Okay.
one update will come, one release will come. So that's how it is. So this part, everything you will have to only take care of. Then when we talk about how do you bill, yesterday we were talking, right? When you said they were moving into your
License, yes.
licenses. So this happens on the basis of SaaS. You don't worry about the infrastructure that goes behind that. You only worry on the number of licenses or number of solutions you subscribe to. That's all.
Okay.
Okay, this on the basis of licenses. You sell licenses irrespective of whether you use or not. That licenses will be taken. And for the cloud, how much ever is your GB that is used, that happens as part of subscription. You will have to subscribe to, let's say, 1 TB of data or 2 TB or whatever is the number of, level of data that you would need, storage that you would need. Then comes your hyperscaler, which falls under infrastructure. I mean, hyperscalers are basically infrastructure as a service. Okay, and then that comes with the license. License meaning it is for SAP only. Okay, then comes your S/4HANA on-prem, with which you only have to do a license for SAP, and rest of the things, which is owning your infrastructure, all of those stuff, you only take care. All right, this is something that you have to understand. You can probably go through it later. Then you also have to understand this part, which has the lowest TCO. What is TCO? Total cost of ownership. Okay. Tomorrow, if I have to leave out the system and move to a different system, what happens when I have an on-prem system? I will have server, I will have subscriptions, I will have the applications running here, and I'll have a team who is supporting the networks, a team who will manage the infrastructure. All of things will be taking place. However, when it is S4 HANA Cloud, you need not worry on anything. So that's why it says lowest TCO against S4 HANA multi-tenant edition. Okay, you got this point.
Yeah. Yes.
Then comes your speed of innovation. As I told you, every 3 months you get a release, every 2 years you get a release. These two are speed. However, when it comes to this one on-prem or things like this, it is going to be on your own. They don't release it. You have to go take it as a separate project and go for a upgrade project for your system. Okay. Then comes the standardization. Only in cloud you do the standardization because it is something that is not so flexible, I would say. Sucks. I mean, this multi-tenant edition is, if it is considered 20, I mean, out of 100, if you have to relate these two, if you have to give out a ratio, 20% flexible is this thing, multi-tenant edition, 80% flexible is single tenant edition. Okay, this you can do basically whatever that you want on the customer cloud.
Yeah.
Okay, then easy to replicate and deploy. This is and easy to scale. Easy to scale. Everything is easy to scale when it comes to cloud. Only thing that is not easy to scale is your on-prem because you have to buy additional servers, do all the configurations on your own, set up firewall, and all of the other things that you have to take care of by yourself. You need to do. So that's why it says not easy to scale. Then easy to replicate and deploy. This is again, everything is easy to deploy when it comes to cloud. If it is your system, then you will have to do a lot of additional checks before you deploy something. So that's why on-prem is always having the highest total cost of ownership when it comes to any deployment options. Okay, this is a very important thing that you need to understand. So tomorrow, if someone is under cloud and they have opted for multi-tenant edition, before you step into the project and take up the implementation, you must be in a mindset, and you must also imbibe that mindset of sticking to the standard, both from your customer, also from your project team, your internal team members. Okay, so these are all things that you need to understand as part of the deployment options. So whatever possible is only summed up here as part of deployment options. Do you have any clarifications on this?
Not now. I'll revise once and then maybe later.
Okay. Then we will just get into this transition path, which I think we already did discuss in bits and pieces. We will just summarize this one, and then let's close it here so that we will take up this. This is probably going to be little exhaustive because the approach of individual implementations, how does it differ? That's what we'll be discussing with respect to the phases, with respect to the systems. How does it progress? Okay, so we'll take this up tomorrow. So in terms of transition path, this is, I think, we something that we already discussed about. You either do a system conversion wherein you move in from ERP, which is ECC, to S4 HANA. This happens as part of system conversion. Then we do a new implementation wherein you are part of ERP, which is ECC, or you be part of any third-party system and you decide to move to SAP, and you move either to SAP S/4HANA on-prem or you move to SAP S/4HANA cloud version. Okay. Then we talk about selective data transition, which is you move from again any ERP or any third-party system, and then you talk about moving into SAP S/4HANA or SAP S/4HANA Cloud single tenant edition. These two are possible. So do you remember the examples that I told you for each of this?
Can you give me a hint?
Okay. System conversion. This is
It was
basically
migration.
your migration project, wherein you move from ECC to S/4HANA. This is pretty straightforward. You need not worry on this.
Yeah.
For new implementation, we discussed about two different things. One is greenfield implementation, other one is brownfield.
Brownfield. Yes.
Correct? Then we
Yeah.
talked about selective data transition. So the example that we discussed was, suppose I am part of a system. I'm company A, you're company B. Company A has acquired company B. Okay.
Okay.
In that case, you are running in a different system. I am running in a different system. But you do your operations still in that system. I do my operations still in my system. However, we are going to unify the financial system to SAP. You will run procurement, sourcing, other operations in your own system. That's still fine. We can integrate it later. Or we are uploading it manually in SAP. It doesn't matter. However, the financials are going to be moved in from that system to my SAP system. We are going to integrate on that part. So when you're moving in from one particular system or any third party, when you're selecting few modules or data or tables and you move that into SAP system, that becomes selective data transition. Okay. It is just that instead of you doing your financial process there, what happens in the example that I told you is you put your you put your purchase order there, you put your sale order there, you just do a final entry here and you carry on with your financial processes in SAP system, which is common for both, for financials.
Okay.
Okay, this is how it happens for the selective data transition. Right, so are you clear on this part?
Yes.
Okay, now what we have focused upon and we have completed is these three things. deployment options and this. So tomorrow we will probably discuss on the rest of the items that you have, and we will also conclude on these two parts.
Okay.
Okay. So do you have anything else to discuss upon?
No, I'm good for today.
Okay.
So, do you want me the tomorrow? You are not expecting the phases, right? Or are you expecting?
No, would that be possible for you? Or I mean, I would like to get at one shot. Explore, realize, deploy, and run. So if you feel you want some more time, you can still take it. Maybe day after
Okay.
tomorrow we'll.
Uh, okay, but instead of like a story, can I tell you in point wise? Like,
Yeah, it's fine.
okay.
Okay, no
Yeah, I
problem.
think if
However you
I
wish to.
yeah,
Just
I think if I'll tell you point wise, then I'll be more clear. You asked me to frame a story, so
okay, it's
let's do
fine.
it.
I mean, you
Let
can
me.
do it as a pointers, but the pointer should be making sense. So it's not like um, you talk about the last activity first and the first activity and the last.
No, no, no. I will organize it,
Okay.
categorize it then.
Yeah. In
Let's
that case,
try.
fine.
Let me just try putting up in front of you point wise, and then you can share me the feedback.
Sure. All right then. See you
Oh,
tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you so
okay.
much.
Bye. Thank you. Good night.